Here. What's up, guys? Happy Monday. 619? Rey Mysterio Day? June 19th. Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth. Jesus. Words. How are you guys doing, man? It's been we took the whole week off last week. So yeah, missed out on a week of catching up with you guys. Shout out to Charles. What up, J. Cole, Jermaine, Cole, Young Simba, Mr. Nice Watch. What up, Steve? What up, Jake? Here. Brandon says, all right, come play some high dollar Saturdays tonight. Try to get into big one tomorrow. Let's go. Hope everybody, man, Jake. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to everybody hanging out, popping in. I'm sure there would be plenty more to come, but you guys are the... Don't tell them, but you guys are the best since you're here already, man. Nice on the 619. Yeah, I just looked up. I saw it. What up, Josh? Did Gunn get his match? Gunn got his match. You're going to see a lot about that on the Twitter sphere coming soon. You're also probably going to see me complain about how freaking hot it is. It has been so hot, so hot. Chat, last week on, what was it, Friday? We had like a tornado cell, tornado watch, big storm. A tree, lightning hit a tree next block over. I was without power for 8 hours. And I know there's a lot of people been without power. And it sucks no matter what. But we had a heat index of 115 with no power. It was miserable, dreadful. Oh my, it was just so bad. So the power is down from like 6:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. And then yeah, the storm was crazy. It was like the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life. Felt it. I actually think I recorded a little bit on my phone. I might have to let's see. What up, Edwin? Hope you're doing all right. Had a nice little Father's Day hit yesterday for 2K. Yo, Jake, was that you that tagged me on Twitter? I saw a Jake tagged me, and I was like, oh, is that Jake from YouTube chat? Let me see. I'll go pull it up. We'll show you some love. Also, if you guys are listening, because of this heat, I just brought. I have like the AC on. I turned the fan off. I have AC on, and I have a second oscillating AC fan here. And I am a little bit concerned that it might deteriorate the audio quality. So like let me know if you hear it. I'm hoping the music kind of masks it. But if it is something, I'll suffer. I'll suffer. All right, let me pull this tweet up, Jake. I think this is you. Jake with the 1550 and a 500. Look, 2K. Happy Father's Day. That's good, man. I love that. What up, 4-prong? 7 gamers fire. What up? Yeah, I like the 6 to 8s. Small slates or whatever. I don't know. I guess I don't mind them all, but I used to really hate small slates for baseball. But then I grew to love them because the leverage is just so free, right? No issues with audio. Great. What up, dang lazy mofo? By the way, since I had the weekend away, I believe that no Yankee games actually counted yesterday or Saturday. So we'll process that. I think, Steve, you could verify that, right? Like, none of the... I don't even know who they would have played. No, Yankees Twitter is on fire right now. On fire. It's about to hope the Reds game rains out. That's a good segue to the Roto Grinders Kevin Roth free weather report. I'll put a link to that in chat if you guys don't have that tabbed or bookmarked. You probably should. So Colorado, Cincinnati, scattered slow-moving downpours in the general area. Really going to come down to a pregame radar check and seeing whether the heavy stuff sets up over the ballpark or just near the ballpark. Trying to pinpoint something that's specific 12 hours out. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll see if his follow-up will let us know. But I guess the reason why you would hope that is because you're scared of the ownership there. And yeah, again, the ownership. I know the Braves have been kind of like anti, I don't know, the contrarian lately, but I don't know. We'll look at it. What up, Justin Sports? Hey, Steve, the Yankees would still be first in the AL Central. It's all good. I guess the whole division would be first. It's bad. I love the Yankees so much, but Yankee Twitter is insufferable if the Yankees lose multiple games in a row. My gosh. Fire Boone, fire Cashman, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, golly, bro. And then, the Yankees could go on a 5-game win streak in its World Series. I just don't do it. I just want to eat that chocolate. Yeah, I feel that. Well, like I said, in baseball DFS, I don't mind when teams do get a lot of coagulation in terms of ownership. But yeah, it's hard to push back on the ballpark, and especially who is Austin Gomber, right? Yeah, my gosh. I mean, that's just yeah. Slate over, log out. Austin Gomber. All right, let's get updated on all the weather here. All right, so there is 2 early games. We're not really going to touch on those. It's Royals, Tigers, Blue Jays, Marlins, right? So everything else on this should be pertinent to this weather slate. Looks like that's good. Cubs in Pittsburgh, rain should hold south, blah, blah, blah. We keep an eye on that. Winds in from right at 10 in Minnesota. Winds out to right at 10 in Chicago. So that's good. Minute Maid, maybe they'll open the roof. It's 100 degrees. Yeah, they're not doing that. Giants winds have blown to. All right, so I guess we should color code the Cincinnati one. I'm gonna just put it yellow for now. And then what else do we need to do? That's it for weather designations. I believe so. Rangers looking like the top stack. I can get behind that. We'll break it all the way down. It's like the Red Sox Twitter sounds too funny. Yeah, but see, like Red Sox. If I'm a Red Sox fan right now, when you came into the season, expectation, rebuilding, whatever, after being last place team, but Yankees, man, like fudge. It's the same team. These same mouth breathers that were demanding Anthony Volpe in the playoffs last season are now demanding he gets sent down. It's like, I can't stand these people. It's annoying. Yeah, Jafato's back. All right, let's jump into it. Let's go game by game here. Shout out to everybody hanging out. If you want to do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. But let me know how you guys are doing. How was your Father's Day? How was your week, man? We're vibing out. We got a small slate. We can laid back Cadillac jacket a little bit. I'll refresh my lineups page. I don't think I have many lineups for the main slate. But if you're new to the channel, you like some baseball content, hit that sub button. And be sure to participate, man. If you already got a head start on research, let me know what you're thinking. I haven't done too much other than typing games in a spreadsheet, updating stat feeds and stuff like that. So game number 1, the Chicago Cubs at the Pittsburgh Pirates. We got Drew Smiley against Osvaldo Bido. Implied run total for the Cubs 4.9, Pirates 4.4. I don't have much on Bido. We'll look at his minor league pedigree and kind of figure out what's going on here, because 4 innings of sample size. Is there any chance this is a bullpen game? Let's see. Last outing he went 6 Ks, 4 innings, 91 pitches, so was not very efficient. So we'll do a little bit more digging on what that's about. On the Cubs side, Smiley, we know what we're going to get, a 3.56 expected ERA so far this season on a 4.52 Sierra. 77 innings pitched so far, so not really somebody that is getting shellacked, but never really instills a lot of inspiration to play for high upside DFS games, just a 1 in 5 K rate. Looking at pitcher from a broader perspective today, Hunter Brown, man matchup, Burnsy, Merrill Kelly. So we have some upper echelon names to choose from. Heck, Pablo Loop. There's a lot of good names. So I don't know how often Drew Smiley is somebody that I want to get behind, especially if this Pirates lineup is closer to the projected lineup, where they don't really strike out that much against lefties and hit for good slug, good OPS. So Smiley just might be on that mad list to me. If you think 6,500 brings you in a 12 to 15 usable SP2 contribution, then I wouldn't push back too much. But it is what it is. Does have a 1.4 home run per night so far this season against righties, and that's been about what to expect from Smiley the last 3 years, 1.5 plus home run per nine aggregate. So we look at some of these Pirates righty mashers. Andrew McCutchen, if he does, bat top 3, he probably will possibly lead off. 200 plus ISO against lefties since the beginning of last year. I believe he's going to lead this game in bomb detector rating. And I guess Brian Hayes would be somebody I've been looking at, and Rodolfo Castro tied with McCutchen for bomb rating. But I'm not super excited to get behind a full-fledged Pirate stack, but I do think I can get behind a little bit. So we'll go sub-stack on the Cubs, like really sub-stack here, and that would be kind of centerpiece around Andrew McCutchen. And then inversely, Bido. Also, if anybody knows what I'm saying his name wrong, let me know. I definitely don't want to do that, right? But let's go see what his minor league pedigree is looking like. I cannot meet the Yankees fans for being delusional about their team. I mean, it's just, it happens a lot. Basketball Twitter's like bad as well when it reminds me a lot of basketball Twitter. The overreactions are crazy. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad Cashman stuff, like the Donaldson thing I didn't get from the get-go, but then there's also just like, you can't, you want Hicks DFA, you want Volpe's up, you want Aaron Judge to have infinite money, they give him infinite money. You want Garrett, they're still doing a lot of what the puppets want. So I don't know. All right, so in the minors this season, we got a 4.5 ERA, 56 Ks, 55 innings, so over a K per inning, a 1.3 WHIP. So that does kind of fall in line with what we saw in that 4-inning sample size, where the WHIP was high, so it wasn't very efficient. 11 walks, 23 innings against lefties, 15 and 32 against righties. Now what you want, an elevated average allowed to righties. So, let me double check the power while we're here. 4 homers in 32 innings to righties, 2 and 3. So decent power, decent walk, and it's that transfer from minor to major. So I actually don't mind the Cubs against that, taking a chance on him to continue to struggle. Again, kind of like the Pirates, where the lineup is not super deep. It doesn't give you a ton of confidence here, but I do like it. Some of the ratings we're getting for some of these lefties, Tauchman, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, all giving us a 3.9 or better bomb detector rating. I think I will get a step above a full stack. I think we'll go full stack instead of sub stack, because Chris Morel, depending on when this lineup is confirmed, or what it is when it is confirmed. If I went into battle with a Morel, Belly, Hap, Hex, yeah, I think there's 5 deep in this lineup, so we'll go Cubsies. And I don't think I'm gonna get to Beto here, or Cubs there, Pirates here. I typed Cubs in the wrong spot. My brains ain't working. My brains ain't braining. It's just too hot. Sticking on a 5-3 Rangers. Let's go. What up, Beast? How you been, man? Haven't seen you in a while. You grinding baseball, Beast? I know you were big in the basketball streets. I guess in the last week I've seen a lot of people. Oh my god. A lot of people have like 2 months to sit around. It's like, well, fudge. Now I gotta play baseball. There's nothing else to grind. So I'm curious to see how some of the NBA heads transfer to the baseball streets and see what they think, like their experience. Not necessarily do they do good or bad, but do they like it? Because I love to see other people enjoy the art of baseball and the nuances that we have to deal with. 5-3 Rangers Astros. I dig that. All right, let me see if there's any ownership in this game that we need to be mindful of. 11% on Smiley. I think that's a price thing. And then looks like Tauchman, Suzuki. Yeah, I can get behind Tauchman. 2,500. He has a high bomb rating and projected leadoff, so we'll get there. And then Kutchi at almost 10%. So nothing egregious, but it's not like it's super unknown, right? There's several 8 to 10 plus percentage. So I like where I'm at. Substack, full stack. Substack Pirates, full stack Cubs. Not really interested in the pitching here. But Beto is stretched out here, so I do want to see if we have a K prop on him. 4 Ks. And we look at this Cubs lineup, the projected, other than Madrigal, Nico Horner, and Tauchman, everyone strikes out probably an aggregate 25%. So if he's fully stretched out, and he is, 4 seems kind of doable. So that might be something I can get behind early on. Beto, 4Ks. I mean, even if it pushes, it's whatever. Before, it's just a low number that you don't really get from a 100 pitch guy, right? That often, that has strikeout stuff, right? He had a 31% K rate in those 4 innings. The swing and strike rate was 8.8%. I kind of expect that to go up though, with a little bit more time, just based on his minor league pedigree to get strikeouts. So I like the 4. So give me Beto 4Ks. And that's all I got to say about that. Thoughts on Awaka and San Diego bats? We're working our way there. Archie. I can't do it like I used to. My voice has been rough lately. Yesterday I did a lot of screaming. Rockies and the Reds. So I believe we just got a Reds lineup. And Joey Votto is confirmed going to debut here. Kevin Newman, Mac McLean, Jonathan India, Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, Joey Votto in the 6 hole, Nick Senzel, Tyler Stevenson, and Stuart Fairchild. So, as we said at the top of the show, there is some weather concerns here, so I have to keep an eye on that. If it plays, Austin Gomber is probably the worst pitcher with sample size in the major leagues right now. And it is the #1 home run ballpark in all of baseball. 1.88 home run per nine so far this season for Gomber against righties. Even really high against lefties. I mean, this is just a magical spot for the Reds through and through. Hard to not like them immensely pre-flop. Implied run total 6 runs. But that is such an easy thesis, right? That's such an easy thing to land on that you're going to get them at crazy ownership. McLean, Newman, India, Steer, Stevenson, the aggregate ownership is 15+%. So not going to get them at a discount. Heck, Ellie De La Cruz in there as well. So super immense chalk. Probably going to be cash game anchors if you are running the cash game streets. And then as we attack every chalky stack like that, just find ways to make that stack unique, right? It's still pretty easy to do so in baseball, shuffling in some lower owned stacks, some lower owned pitching. It's not that hard, and I can't disagree with the matchup, right? There are some times where chalk just doesn't add up, but this is just combustible elements left, right, and center. The only thing to keep an eye on is the weather. Hopefully Roth will put out a weather report sooner or later updating on the Cincy situation. Yellow or orange this morning. If it doesn't play, then we have to start swapping. It is 5 minutes after the first game locks. Typically, if they postpone it early enough, like they'll release the players. So I'm not that worried about having exposure to them with a 30-minute gap between that game and the next. But we don't need to spend too much time liking the Reds here. What about the inverse here? Brandon Williamson, the projected starter for the Reds. 5,500 on DK. Last couple of outings, 78, 96, 90 pitches. So we got a decent enough sample size on him with 31.2 innings. Almost a 14% barrel rate. That is not good. Heck, that's higher than Gomber's. Just a 16% K rate. 1.42 on the whip. 7.24 expected ERA. Has allowed a lot of power to opposing right-handed hitters. Is this something that he was doing in the minors? Because this is bad. You know what I'm saying? This dog will not hunt, but let's see if they expect him to get better. But we have a lot of sample size to really kind of lean on in the major league level. And I wonder if this is one of those cases where the Rockies end up lower owned than they should be, but we'll double check that in a second. 23.2 innings in the minors, 17 walks. What? Am I reading that right? How? Dude, that's crazy. How did he get called up? 7 homers, 17 walks? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's crazy. That's crazy. That can't be, right? That's crazy. We'll pull up his FG card. I also want to go look at these Rockies ownerships. We see opposing teams in cores all the time get high owned, and then the Rockies haven't been picking up ownership. But yikes! Just Elias Diaz and Randall Grichuk double-digit ownership. So I'm happy to get to the Rockies against that in this ballpark at lower ownership. So let's get both of these stacks in the full stack column. Neither pitcher gonna make the cut list for me. And then let's go look at some of these pitch information for Williamson. 10% swing and strike rate, 60% first pitch strike. Swing 30%. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. What's up, Travis? You're gonna come play golf with me when you're in Texas? I've played putt-putt. I've never played actual golf. All you gotta know is I'm fat and I don't like heat. So this is not my golf season. Can't decide if I want to play Paxton Lopez or Paxton Kelly in my main lineup. Yeah. Looks like everybody's buying in on Paxton, though. With Votto and I might 3-man the Reds. I mean, yeah, 3-man strong, 5-man strong. Reds are looking really, really good. Gomber splits are really bad in Coors, but you can argue that Cincinnati's literally the best home run park in baseball. Coors is like the most hitter friendly because of how big the field is, more hits and whatnot. But Cincy is a bandbox for homers, and that's what we really, really love for DFS. So, what up, Travis? How you been, man? A lot of names I haven't seen in a while, man. I appreciate that. Needed to take a real grinding from a mental state. I know I don't get no break until next. Yeah, I mean, if you're even if you're just grinding, sports betting and DFS, it's exhausting. But once you cross the guardrail and start delivering content, my goodness, the grind is crazy. And right, I can't keep up with it. I mean, you guys are seeing, and for me, I'm able to cut corners because baseball. No one cares about baseball. But like there's some days where I gotta forego the baseball streams to get other stuff done, and I can't really do that in basketball and football. So definitely learn to breathe a little bit, pace yourself a little bit. Burnout is real in just about every aspect and profession, but absolutely in content creation, and especially when serving content for baseball, because your clicks, your views are going to be way lower on average versus literally any other sport. But like I said, I could put NBA breakdown on the stream and burp on a mic for 2 hours, and we'll have 200 viewers, right? But it's not the same for baseball, man. You got to really, really like it to grind it like this. This is the dog days. So pace yourself. But it's good. Get the reps in. Learn the sport. But pace yourself, because you're gonna really need those pitches for October. Williamson under, you think? What up, Amazement? Under what? His with Williamson, do we get a pitch count prop for him? Because he's looking real inefficient. No, it's not a pitch count. Sometimes they offer the 15.5, 16.5 first inning pitch count, whatever. 4 is such a low number that I guess the Rockies, you might accidentally get 4 strikeouts. So I don't know about that. The walks is interesting, but the Rockies strike out so gosh dang much. So I don't know. I just probably, and with the weather, I probably just wouldn't be bold enough to get to a decision there. The 2.5 earnings is also, I'll be kind of leaning towards the over, but pitch count under. I don't see a pitch count on PrizePicks, but maybe if another source offers it, I would take the under. I would be more interested in the over, just because his is so inefficient in the minor league level, and so far at the major league level hasn't kind of, you know what I mean? 1.42 whip. Yikes. What up, Gilbert? Weather in Cincy? Yeah, there's weather. I'm an analytic guy. I'm not gonna predict weather. Just know that Roth is the guy I lean on for that, and he mentioned it, and I expect him to come back sooner or later with a more updated guess at what to expect. So, what up, ACP? Here, all of us rich teams fans are suffering. ACP in the house. Padres fans, where you at? You back to work from the hip replacement? Oh, that's right. You did get the hip replacement. Bro, and remember I was telling you, everyone that I know or read about getting the full hip replacement, they all wish they got it sooner. So it's going to hurt. It hurts. But once you get it through, man, oh, man. Your screws ain't squeaking. Your hinges ain't. That's good, man. That's good. Gun is a real G in the game. Boost up. What up, Wes? I appreciate that. Here to just give you a like. Man, I appreciate that, Wes. You're a real one. All right, let's matriculate on to the next game. So we did settle on getting to some Rockies exposure for sure. And then Reds for sure. Yeah, no pitching here. Not even if there's a fire. Might go over on Williamson K's at solo. Yeah, that's why I have the Beto strikeout prop. I mean, Williamson, I don't know. That 16% K rate at the major league level, it's not on short sample. You know what I mean? But I'm with you. Like the 10% swing and strike rate, you would expect that to be higher than a 16% K rate. And then at the minor league level, 27 Ks in 34 innings. So like, whatever. I just wouldn't. I would wash it. I wouldn't touch it. But 4 is a low enough number, and this team sucks and strikes out a lot. So I wouldn't fault you. Padres should be gone. They haven't done anything in 1.5 years. Yeah, a lot of teams, but especially the Padres. I think the Padres per capita, because it doesn't feel like the Padres. I mean, I guess Musgrove did get hurt. Like at least if we look at the Yankees and when they falter, I can point at a bunch of injuries. Dodgers have been kind of doing what you expect them to do, even though they've been injured. But the Padres have just been relatively healthy for the most part and just not coming through. But they do have Gary Sanchez now. He's the GOAT. So Marlins are 41-31. Yeah, there's some surprising teams in the standings right now. Next game on the docket, Red Sox and Twins. We do have a Twins lineup. We'll get that punched in here. Donnie Barrels. Donovan Solano in that leadoff spot. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally mute my mic. I have a bad habit of doing that. Correa batting cleanup. Alex Kirilloff. Willie Castro. Kyle Farmer. Joey Gallo and Christian Vasquez. And if we refer back to Kevin Ross' report from this morning, winds in from right field at 10 miles an hour. So a little boost for pitching as well. We got Paxton. We got Pablo Lopez. The Red Sox a 3.8 implied run total. The Twins a 4.4. So eyes are on pitching here. At least surface level. Look at Paxton so far. Really, really good. 3.34 expected ERA, 1.16 whip. Incredible 33% K rate with a almost 15% swing and strike rate. So he's been able to find that magic, and good for him. I miss him dearly. And then inversely, Pablo Lopez a 30% K rate. So when you lay out all the pitchers on the slate, these are two guys that offer amongst the most strikeout upside. Matchups, though, especially on the Pablo Lopez side, looking at this projected Red Sox lineup since the beginning of last year, just Adam Duvall, Tristan Casas, Reese McGuire, those are the real guys you expect to strike out. Verdugo, Turner, Rafi Devers, Yoshida, Christian Arroyo. These guys are a little bit more scrappy with it, so maybe that might stifle the high expectations in terms of what Lopez's strikeouts will be. But it's just in terms of stuff, like you still want to play good pitchers, and he's still a good pitcher. He's actually underperforming versus the advanced expectations, right? A 4.27 ERA with a 3.17 expected ERA, 3.39 Sierra. The weakness in his game so far this season is definitely against lefties, and Verdugo, Rafi Devers. Those are two guys I would be worried about, more so Devers. That 4.47 xFIP with a 265 average allowed, more so the xFIP being high, elevated fly ball rate. Maybe that's what you keep an eye on, but for the most part, I don't mind just leaning on either pitcher just for the simple fact that they are two of the more talented pitchers that are stretched out. So I think we're going to nominate... I think we're going to start him at the 3, and then we'll go from there. Because Paxton against the Twins is a unique case too, right? You guys, I've seen a lot of 2v2s in chat so far, and like everyone's like Paxton and this or Paxton and that, and it seems like everyone's just settling on Paxton. And man, I feel like the Twins could be a little sneaky here. Paxton's coming in. Paxton's only 20% owned, which is 5th on the board here. Interesting. With the Twins having a 4.4 run total, guys like Buxton, Correa. This is definitely going to be on both sides for me, but I guess I was kind of expecting Paxton to be higher owned just based on our chat bubble here. But man, Paxton's look good. So I'll definitely get to tier 3 to start on Paxton and Lopez. I think we're going to get to some twin stacks. And we probably don't have to get to a bunch to be above the field, right? 7 to 10% with Willie Castro leading the charge here. So Buxton, Correa. All right, that's easy enough. Easy enough. So we'll do that. And then with the with the Red Sox versus Pablo's ownership, 24%. So we'll inverse the ownerships here. Devers is highest on at 7%. I agree with all of this. I don't really have 5 Red Sox that I want to get behind here. So it would probably be one off like Devers. If I wanted to get to a Substack, which I'll nominate, it'll be the Verdugo, Turner, Devers combo. Maybe Yoshida sneaks in there as well. But again, the lefties have been more so the issue for Lopez loosely because he's still really good. And that's how I play that. So it's 4 corners with a little bit more weight on the pitching side. Are you guys running Paxton as like your cash, you know? Can Paxton go 6? Sox could put Duran in center for another lefty. So yeah, Paxton's gone 6 in 3 of his last 5, 2 of his last 2. I don't see why he couldn't go 6 if you're worried about like pitch counts and whatnot. Do you get a strikeout per inning, quality start? What's his PrizePicks fantasy points? 36.5. That 90.5 pitch count, huh? And then 13 strikeout combo with him and Pablo. And he's implied for 7, so I guess Pablo's at 6. Intriguing. 7 Ks, that's a high one. Yeah, he definitely has the juice to go 6. Guaranteed rate field is supposed to be 18% more home run friendly than average today. Small parks 26%, so it's close. Oh, is it weather? Yeah, I did see that, the wind blowing up. Corbin Burns has 4 straight quality starts. Good numbers over that span. ERA, whip, K through walk through 27 innings. Nice. We'll look at that. And those are kind of surface stats, right? We want to look at XFIP and make sure that we can substantiate that, because results themselves aren't predictive without looking at the right metrics. Mentioned on the stochastic stream that Sox bullpen had a lot of work yesterday in the doubleheader. That's maybe why the Twins total's higher. Okay. So let's look at that. Yeah, Red Sox played a doubleheader. I don't know who they played against, but I heard they had a doubleheader yesterday. And look at the bullpen usage. Maybe with that nugget there, Steve, Paxton gets leaned on a little bit more. 98, 106, 100. He's throwing a 98 or more and 100 plus ish. And then his pitch count, what did we say it was? 98.5? Or 98.5? Maybe with that logic, Cora has a longer leash for him. 48 pitches from Murphy. Yeah. I don't have any conviction behind that, so I'm not going to write it in the notes, but something to think about if you are worried about weak bullpens. Bet Pax's K is over. Did you get it before it was 7? Like, was it at 6.5 earlier? Or are you still in on 7? Julian and Buxton can definitely strike out. Gallo is a free 3 strikeouts against Paxton, right? Yeah. All right. What up, Phil? Rays, baby. This guy. How you gonna jump in my chat? And the only thing you say is Rays? Come on, bro. I'm just kidding. I hope you're doing all right, Phil. Let's move on. Rangers, White Sox. 5.1 run total for the Rangers. 4.6 for the White Sox. Tanner Banks. So I had to change this because I had a different name this morning. Tanner Banks. Bank is open. 11.2 innings on him. .46 pitches. So he hasn't thrown more than 46 pitches. And he threw 3 days ago. So are we just implying a bullpen game here for the White Sox? Or is he opening for Schultens? No, Schultens is... Chat, anyone got some clarification on this situation? This is the name I had this morning. I just saw that they put out Banks was starting. I saw that tweet like an hour ago. I guess we're just expecting bullpen. I'm just going to brace for bullpen game unless there's a tighter stuff. But 3 innings, whatevs. Tanner Banks, 11.2 innings sample size so far this season. 53 innings last season. Has allowed a really elevated hard contact rate to righties so far this season. Smaller sample size. Last season looked all right, but a lot of these, a lot of bullpen reliever stats can look a lot better if they spent a significant portion of the season coming strictly out of the bullpen, optimal matchups, having to throw less and you can throw harder, right? So a little rough to get by. So I might not focus too much on Banks and his 3 innings in the situation, and just maybe more so bet on talent. And you guys have shown some love for the Rangers. They have a 5.1 run total. They're a crazy offense when they're clicking. We did refer to Roth earlier, said winds out to right at 10 miles an hour. So great for lefty pull hitters and just generally a better boost for fly balls anyway. So I'm here to bet on talent. Let's go Rangers. And Rangers are coming with some ownership, but it's a smaller slate. What are you going to do? Duran, Seager, Nate Lowe, Leody Taveras, Josh Young, Adolis Garcia. Yeah, they're all coming at basically 9% plus, but not really any pushback from me. So Ranger stack, make the list. You just made the list. And then Andrew Heaney on the bump for the Rangers. So Andrew Heaney has been a notorious fly ball pitcher, especially against righties the last 3 years. And if you're going to have wind blowing out, that's not going to help the situation. 1.63 plus home run per 9 against righties the last 3 years. So it's a great spot for White Sox righty power hitters. Luis Roberts absolutely raking lefties since the beginning of last year at 1.0 OPS. Jake Berger's up there as well. Berger has been just a model citizen of the bomb detector this season, and I think he's got the highest bomb detector rating today. I would really like Berger to be batting something better than, I guess 5th isn't the worst, but 4th would be just a sweet spot. But look for Jake Berger today. This looks like a great home run opportunity, right? We just mentioned, and this is just batted ball and park adjusted. We mentioned the wind's blowing out to right. Oh my gosh, what does a Jake Berger fantasy point prop look like? It doesn't exist. So I guess this is still fine. A hit, RBI, yeah, we'll take that because basically a homer accomplishes that. So I like Jake Berger over 1.5 hit, run, RBI. And I think we're going to stack both sides of this game, but I also wonder if Heaney makes the blender. with a 1 in 4-ish K rate. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I probably won't. Anybody, you guys getting a Heaney at all? 7,500. I can see him sneak into an SB2 because I do think SB2, if it offered up 14 to 16 today, like if you had a strong SB1 and a serviceable SB2, and offenses did what they were supposed to, I could see him living. And basically, if he doesn't die, he's probably going to be usable. So like maybe I'm gonna hold off on putting him in the tiers for now. Got it 6.5. What up, Earth to Air? The Billionaire? That's a bar. What up, KJ? Week 3 of CDL school? Let's go. I'm happy. Yo, how long is CDL school? I have a friend that's like always saying, I'm going to get my CDL license. And it's been like 10 years. He never does it. God, I got a couple trucker friends, man. I've always thought that was a fascinating job to just drive the country and see the sights and sounds. Maybe not the healthiest food, and you're really stationary, but I think that's a pretty cool job to be able to travel around. And Royal Priest, if you don't get your... You know what I feel bad about is I looked at my Facebook memories today, and today's the anniversary of A-Rod's 3,000 hit. And I had posted a status the day before. I was like, tomorrow, A-Rod faces Verlander. And I referenced A-Rod's BVP against Verlander. And I was like, I think A-Rod's going to homer against Verlander and for 3,000. And sure enough, he did it. So in a way, an old version of Gunn was the BVP guy, and it worked for that situation. And now the new me, I felt dirty. I felt dirty looking back at that. But happy anniversary to A-Rod's 3,000 hit. Hey, Gunn, favorite single entry pitcher on Fanduel? I haven't processed the whole slate yet, but that would a lot of those decisions really come down to ownership, right? So let's see, ownership, main slate. So I guess this slate's pretty much wide open. 22% for max, whatever. And I'm not that enthralled. Like maybe. Man, I don't know. That looks tricky. We'll look at Burnsy here in a second and see if we can get behind that. But no one stands out to me more than the others. Maybe Paxton, if his 30% K rate's going to be 6%, then I can get behind that. Maybe Paxton at that point. Easy to find CDL jobs now? Yeah. 3 to 4 weeks. No more than 4 weeks. That's pretty cool, man. Every time I listen to you go, I'm 99% on this road. Are you a trucker, Darius? Do you guys like being called truckers? I never know. The advanced course is 6 weeks, tanker and trailer from the. We got that at the first company. So so I know there's some companies that will sponsor your training, and then some people go out of pocket and then go get a job. Are you on a program like that? And have you already done some course testing where you're trying to parallel park an 18-wheeler? That's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I got a lot of good memories of just like driving random hot highways in America, and it's just like nothing but 18-wheelers and me. It's like, man, that must be pretty cool. And then play around on the radio. I don't know if they still do that these days, but back in the day, stepdad used to have a CV radio, and you could just listen to the boys having fun on the road. I'm like, man, that seems like a fun lifestyle. You go to the random truck stops in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee or West Virginia, and it's just like cool people, you know? But maybe it's more modern now. Maybe that's just like the romanticized memories of the trucking lifestyle. Your driver gun, that's pretty cool, Darius. Well, I appreciate you taking me on the drive with you. CDL like 15 years ago with all the endorsements, got laid off during a D9 crash, so no dropping and go back to Class E. Dang. I don't know what any of that means, Brandon, but if you don't have one, they'll train you, hire you, because a lot of drivers are retired now. Yeah. Hey, we got a lot of drivers here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I entertained it for like a week when I was 18, and then I was like, nah. Ended up going working in the prison system. That went all right. Rangers in the White. Oh, we already did that one. D-backs in the Brewers. Merrill Kelly taking on Corbin Burns. D-backs 4.1 implied run total. Burnsy and his Brewers have a 4.2 run total. So pretty low run total for both teams here. Two of the better pitchers on the slate as well. Corbin Burns, 3.34 expected ERA. Strikeout rates getting to 24%. Rough start to the season, but certainly looking like he's finding it. At least the results as of late have been way more favorable. Good pitch count. Strikeouts are back, and he has gone 6+ innings in 4 games straight. Each of those games, as we mentioned earlier, quality start. So let's go dig into the advanced numbers of those games and make sure that it's real, right? You know what I mean? And we all kind of figured Burnsy was going to get back to being good. The start of the season was so rough. Blue Jays lineup came out. That's not on my slate. Right? Yeah. Batted ball data for the last 4 games. XFIPs are pretty good. I guess the 4+ XFIP against Cincy, that park, whatever, and that team has been hot, whatever. 4+ XFIP against San Francisco. So closer to 4. I'm fine with that. Sierra, meh. All right. So the last 2 games are really, really sharp. Hard contact rate's been all over the place. That stretch of games as well. Doesn't look like there's a lot of concern for me, though. Ground ball rate's been all over the place, I guess. I guess inconsistencies with, like, batted ball data. But what really matters the most to me is the swing and strike. And that's been 11, 14, 15, 14%. I love that. And we are here to hunt strikeouts. So I do like that. I do have some reservations about the D-backs not being like a crazy high strikeout team, but it's not like a bunch of 13%, right? So a lot of people hovering at just around 1 and 5 against righties since the beginning of last year. So I think I'm in a bet on talent spot with him as well. So we'll go. Man, where do we go with him? Do we go tier 2? Do we like him a little bit better than Paxton and Pablo? Let's see. This lineup the D-backs throw out will probably be lefty heavy. If we look at his lefty splits this season, 26% K rate. It's actually higher than his righty K rate. Walk rate's higher. Hard contact rate really low, and the ground ball rate's really high. So I like that. I like that combo here. So I think we're going to go a little bit higher on Burnsy. And then inversely, Merrill Kelly, 27% K rate this season. He's brought that swing and strike rate up. Brewers have brought the strike rate with them as well, and they've got just a 90 WRC plus on the season against righties. So it's actually a good spot for Merrill Kelly to tap into perhaps a high upside game. We've seen some really average pitchers go crazy on the Brewers, and I think Kelly's got an argument to be above average this season. We'd like a lower barrel rate, but I'll live with it. Do we go tier 2 on Merrill Kelly here? The strikeout matchup is really good, and it lines up a little bit better than most of these other high octane pitchers, right? Even Burnsy's matchup is arguably not as strong as this one pre-flop. Same with Lopez and to an extent Paxton. So Kelly might rise for me. Let's see, what are we thinking on Kelly's ownership? Kelly is 3rd in ownership, but it's kind of holding hands with Pablo. And then on Fanduel, independent because I have my own truck company. But I have a lot of friends that got into independent as well. And I think that's pretty cool, too. Then you're really your own boss. 9% for Kelly on Fanduel, which is 5th. That's interesting to me as well. I know I mentioned Paxton earlier, but Kelly's also somebody that I just expect 6+ innings, and the quality start means so much over there, right? Man, what a run for him. Philly, Atlanta in the mix here. I think Kelly's going to ride. I think I'm going to go Kelly tier 2 as well. Burns at 6.5. Well, I would like to see the confirmed lineup before I attach a conviction behind it, but he's been good. What about Kelly, though? What are we getting on Kelly? 33.5 fantasy? That seems pretty low. And then they combine the pitcher strikeout. So you said they have Burns at 6.5. So you get Kelly at 6, Burns at 6.5. I'm no mathematician, but that would be 12.5, right? But if you add them together, the line is 13. Is that an under? Is that an under by their math? Are we at the point where you can drop Luis Severino from a 10-man? Oof. I mean, it depends on what else you got and what's available. I think Severino, I don't know. We got a minute, right? Chat. Am I going to bore you guys with some Severino? I have Carlos Rodon in my season long because he's just now coming back. But let's go look at Severino's metrics. What up, Daniel? PrizePicks does that when combined. They always add a hook. Dang, you would think they would charge, or they always subtract a hook. I think they would charge a hook, if that makes sense. Sevy's been all over the place. Yikes. I mean, if you had something that was like more stable, more available, I'd probably drop him. I don't think he's certainly not as valuable as maybe the perception. And if he gets better going forward, maybe you can scoop him back up off waivers for free. But I think it would just really depend on what else is available. But yeah, Severi doesn't look like he's like if you remove the name and looked at those stats, I wouldn't need to keep that person on my roster. $96 people hanging out. I appreciate you guys. You guys want to hit that thumbs up? If you're vibing, hit that sub button. We'll hopefully do a couple more streams this week. And then maybe on Friday again, if Terry's not busy, we can do another collab with him. Those are fun. Although we went so long on that last one. No, we might have to book. We might have to do a shorter slate just because we talk too much. I guess Brewers and D-backs would be interesting, just like leverage contrarian stacks. But if I was just running 20 lineups, I don't think I would be there onslaught in either team. If Corbin Carroll fell into the mix somewhere, cool. And then inversely against Merrill Kelly, I really got nothing. Right? If you just bet on a good hitter. But otherwise, I think like in 20 or less, I don't think I get to either one of these teams in the full stack sense. So let's move on to the next game, Mets and the Astros. Max Scherzer taking on Hunter Brown. Mets have a 3.7 run total. The Astros 3.9. So cumulatively, the lowest total game, right? Both teams not expected for much. We did just get an Astros lineup. We'll get that typed up. Dubon, Altuve, Kyle Tucker, Bregman, Jose Abreu. He's starting to come alive. Jeremy Pena, Yainer Diaz, Jake Myers, Martin Maldonado. So that's as projected. Astros kind of going through a similar stretch, but less talked about as the Yankees without Yordan Alvarez. Man, they're kind of struggling to put together some dubs here. And now As far as the DFS game theory goes, Max Scherzer, who's garnering a lot of ownership, and then just thinking about the best pitchers in the strikeout matchups, Max Scherzer's pretty high owned. And you look at the top of this Astros lineup, there's no one over 18% K rate since the beginning of last year against righties, and it really just falls into Jeremy Pena, Jake Myers, and Martin Maldonado. Now, don't get it twisted. Max Scherzer and those other pitchers, good pitchers can just be better than good hitters some days. But this is not really a high strikeout matchup if that's what we are, trying to check box our pitcher list here. And Max is, let's see, on Fanduel, Max was coming in at 22%, which led the slate. On DraftKings at 30%, which leads the slate. Max is pitched to a 1.24 whip, 3.85 Sierra, 3.62 expected ERA. Those numbers aren't inherently bad, but compared to Scherzer's career in the last 4 years, a little bit worrisome. So at that ownership, do I think there's a decent enough range of outcomes where Scherzer is like 22 fantasy points or less? I think so. Rockies suck. Phillies, hey, he did that. But every other game that Max is thrown out, for that to be like the highest owned pitcher today, with this matchup not throwing, incredible K rates, I feel like I could chill on that as the highest owned pitcher. And it would also really make me want to get to at least a substack of Astros, and maybe in those Reds lineups that are super chalky, maybe we put an Astros substack in there, like a Kyle Tucker, Bregman, maybe Altuve, you know what I mean? And that way we would, one, leverage the highest owned pitcher, and then probably also tap into the lowest owned stack. I mean, that just makes sense for Houston to be the lowest. Kyle Tucker's 13% against a 30% owned. Oh, that's FanDuel. I was gonna say. A little bit lower owned. Tucker's still at 7%. Altuve's all right. Still good leverage against a 30% owned pitcher. So let me do that. We'll go Astros substack, and then on the other side the Mets as well. And I think I'm gonna end up getting to some Mets, at least substack too. But what about you guys? What you guys have thoughts in game theory on Max? Anybody leaning with me here? Now that we do have a confirmed lineup, I mean, Max does sustain a 30% K rate against righties the last 3 years. So it's not to say that these guys can't strike out. It's just they strike out less than average. And this lineup is throwing one lefty, so Max can really lean on, the preferred side of the rubber. So I'm kind of indifferent. But the ownership itself is making me think a little bit more contrarian here. And I'm starting to really buy into Merrill Kelly's spot a little bit more, just, dipping into some extra Ks. Just from the matchup. Bump down. Just got bumped for Burns. Kelly combo to 12.5 Ks. Oh, so it went from 13 to 12.5. They're watching. Shout out to PrizePicks. Or did one of the other pitchers get bumped down? Kelly's at 6. And Burns is at 6.5. So now it makes sense. Maybe yeah. What up, B-Mac? I just realized the Severino question came from official Rick Ross. I love YouTube. Odor should be in a good spot for value at second base. Luis Robert bomb. I like that. I really like Jake Berger, and I hope I didn't just unplug everything. I just kicked some wires. All right, Hunter Brown, 27% K rate for him. Let's go look at the bullets in his chamber. Torn playing Max and Marte at second, or moving Max and going up to Kelly and playing a cheap second baseman. Well, you would gain a little bit of ownership against the field if you went the second way. I don't know about Marte's ownership, but Is Marte Ketel Marte or Starling Marte? Or second base. Gotta be Ketel. I'm stupid. I don't think I have 4% own. Let's see. Cheap second baseman. There's not a whole lot there. What about this Montes kid in the minors? Great name, by the way. Coco Montes. Throwback to Coco Crisp. How do you do against lefties in the minors? Overall stats, 321 average. He hasn't realized that yet, huh? Yikes, he didn't hit lefties much in the minors. 211. No homers. 591 OPS. Yikes. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. If it were me, I don't know. If it's single entry, I'd probably want to get... I think my strategy today, and you guys don't have to tail it, is that I'm going to be a little more pushbacky on Max Scherzer in the spot that he's in versus some of the other guys. And I tend to like the check boxes for like Merrill Kelly a little bit more, and the ownership as well. Have India? That makes sense. I was looking at Hunter Brown's fantasy score on PrizePicks. All right, yeah, let's get back to digging into that. Hunter. So Hunter Brown, 29.5 fantasy. So if he went 6, I mean, just a quality start probably gets him there, right? And he's been able to do that in 4 of his last 5. Pitch count's been fine. Ground ball rate. Look at that. 12-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio. But the strikeouts have kind of dipped. But Washington, we know it can be a little scrappy. But the swing and strike rate is still good. 11%. I'll take that. The called strike, want that a little bit higher. But over 1 in 4 K rate. Again, not a massive K spot in the projected lineup, but still can muscle some strikeouts. So kind of indifferent there as well. He did pick up ownership as well, and the run total for the Mets is really low too. Brown's at 15%, so he's not crazy. He's right above Heaney. I think I want a taste of that. I also, like, I'm not going to be without Max either, but Max isn't going to be my highest owned pitcher. So let's put Max and Hunter Brown in the 3. Astros Substack. What do we do with the Mets, right? If Hunter Brown fails, how does he do it? Walks lefties. He doesn't really give up power. So if we got the Mets, I think just like the Astros, it would be a Substack for me. I don't know that I'm bracing for an implosion. So we'll do that. Although, I don't know. When Max implodes, he implodes, right? So I might talk myself into an Astros full stack. Because could I get the 800 OPS aggregate here if I went to Altuve, Tucker, Breggy, Diaz? I might talk myself into some shares of Astros full stacks. Let's just add them. I mean, it's a 7-game slate, right? We'll be able to get to it all. No Beto Love. I do have Beto Love so far for strikeout prop on PrizePicks. I'm gonna wait until the slate's processed before I throw him on like the DFS tier for me. I'm just kind of indifferent there, but just I do have some interest in that 4 strikeout prop. I just don't know if he's gonna blow a fantasy score that I need away. But me, you know what? 5,600. Yeah, he'll probably make the back. Do a Merrill Kelly Beto lineup. Is that what I'm about to roll in single entry? Stop it. Get some help. We only got 1 game left. Let me do a plug if you guys don't mind. RunDFS.com. If you guys want this spreadsheet as something that you can use to expedite your daily research, look at the bomb detector, the index portal, the pitch report, my player pool, notes, stuff like that. It is behind the paywall at RunDFS.com. But you grab a membership, which, let me click VIP memberships. We have several available: week passes, 2 week pass, month pass. We have the rest of the year pass, and this is exclusive to you dog dayers, because I promise when football comes back, it's not going to be this. But you can actually get the rest of the year, and it's not just baseball. That's the entire calendar year when basketball comes back, when football comes back. And think about football. Football is basically the whole season. Before January, a couple weeks left. But for $249, that also gets you a $100 credit toward Fantasy Cruncher, which is a really, really nifty add-on that they've allowed us to partner with. And then you guys can use the same optimizer that I use to manage my lineup. So if you had questions, you'll be able to reach out to me. So you get the spreadsheet, you get the coupon, and if you click VIP portal, you also get the link to the RunDFS.com VIP Discord, looking at something like this. A couple times a week, been in the pregame voice or the pre-lock voice chat, depending on how many people are there. Oh, landslide on bereavement, that sucks. And we have alerts and stuff for the confirmed lineups, home runs, stuff like that. A lot of fun stuff. I'll probably be in chat for a little bit today, so if you guys want to jump in the voice chat, hanging out, making some lineups, we'll be in there. It's hot. Did I mention it's freaking hot right now? All that at RunDFS.com. And I mean, if you guys are nice, we might have a 20%. I might have a coupon somewhere for 20%. Let me see. Let me see what's in the back door here. Administration. Or I can just make a coupon exclusive to this stream. There's probably a 20% laying around. 1 second. Coupons. We'll do it live. 20%. So Dong, there's one. Alright, DONG. Dong. That'll get you 20% off of any one of those. Right? Yeah. So I'll type that in chat if you guys want to come test it out. Coupon Dong. And you are in there. Get caught up. You're smashing off baseball at WNBA. I forgot WNBA is a thing. Bing bong.
Brandon Wagner super chatted $19.99.
Oh, no message, just money? Hey, Brandon, appreciate that, brother. I was taking a drink. Usually there's a message in there. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. That's awesome. The GOAT. WNBA sneaky bankroll builder. Man, when was it last year or the year before? We had Josh and Eric and all those cats grinding WNBA. I just didn't have enough time to do it, but man, I wish those slates were bigger. But that's good that you guys are grinding it. Mainly pick pitching props. I can't do the hitters. I don't mind the fantasy points on PrizePicks, but yes, the variance is crazy. But I feel like this year more than ever before, PrizePicks has been pretty restrictive with what they offer prop wise. $17 and $2.75 with Cruncher help. That's really good. Yeah, Fantasy Cruncher, I love it. I mean, optimizers are just strong, but I've learned how to use Cruncher a decent bit over the course of the last 2 years, and really, really powerful. So I'm happy. How do you feel about Paxton's 7K prop tonight? I'm kind of indifferent. I know Steve said he got a 6.5. If we look at the matchup itself and him having a 30% K rate, I'm fine with that. The Julian Buxton Gallo, I think, is just 2 strikeouts. So I'll go from there. But it's not like a massive case. But I feel like most pitchers that are trendy and all the good pitchers, the strikeout matchup isn't as good as you would hope. For me, I think Merrill Kelly has the best on the boxes. Although we did get that lineup, and I'll update that in a second, and we'll see if that holds true. But 7 just kind of on the edge of comfort for me. The Siri voice is funny, yeah. BDO mid price on Yahoo. Is Yahoo a 2-pitcher site? If so, yeah. But with Bido, I don't know if I'm confident in a 6-inning quality start. It's a hard W for this Texan. Is it? It's Wagner, right? Not Wagner. Padres and the Giants, our main event. Michael Wacha taking on Ryan Walker. Implied run total for the Padres 4.4. Walker and his Giants 4.3. So kind of a low run total altogether. Looks like 60 degrees out there. I wish. Wacha 23% K rate on the season, 106 WHIP. Pitching to a 2.89 ERA, but a 4.05 expected ERA. The Giants have been meh, right? But I guess on the season, a 25% K rate, but also combined with a 110 WRC plus. So I'm never like that stoked to play Michael Wacha, but 8,300, we have seen Wacha turn that price point with some serviceable games, 26, 29, 20. So 20 plus, we would take that, and we've seen some. It feels outlier-ish, right? 40 fantasy points, 30 from Michael Wacha. Mariners certainly do have that crazy strikeout lane, and that helped boost them to 7 Ks. So maybe some recency bias might push more people to him in a plus park. But I get it at 8,300, so he might make the last spot in the tier 3. But I also think I'm going to use Beto a little bit. We'll put Beto DK only. And then inversely, Walker, 14.2 innings of sample size so far this season. Let's pull up what that's all about. Because there's a lot of green. He's just an opener. All right. And who is his long man? Keaton Wynn. 4 innings, 2 Ks. So let's put Keaton's stats in the spreadsheet as a quick reference. 5.7 expected ERA, 12.5% K rate. But it's not super fair because he only got 4 innings in the major league level. So let's go look at his minor league stuff. 27 wind blowing out. So Oracle doesn't react to wind as much as other parks, right? Like very little. So I wouldn't go crazy with that. It looks good, but the way that park is built, they were prepared for wind at the bay. So it's not as impactful as you would think versus, a Wrigley Field or something like that, Wind minor league splits. .304 average allowed to righties at the minor league level. 10 walks in 23 innings. What? 11 walks and 18 against lefties. A little bit of power. I mean, there's nothing that great here. So, yeah, I would be there on the Padres. When am I not? So we'll go Padres full stack. And the Giants against Wacha. I could probably get into a sub stack. I'm always trepidatious about full stacking Giants with Gabe Kapler, but they got stackable names. I think Jock, Conforto, Yastrzemski. Yeah, we'll probably double down here. And I don't think we'd have to give up more than like 6 to 8% of either our equity to have a little bit of leverage on either. Let's see, Giants, Padres, Tatis, and that's it. Everybody else is really low owned, so I'm fine with that. That's how we'll play that. A kiss of Wacha, a little bit of Padres and Giants. And that's how the cookie crumbles. What up, Power? Hope you're doing all right. All right, let's get some updated lineups in. And if you guys have any hot takes, questions, comments, concerns, or anything that you want to take a second look at, throw them at me. We'll wrap that up, and then we'll raid out or something. Have I mentioned it's freaking hot? It's freaking hot. Cubs lineup came out: Tauchman, Nico Horner, Suzuki, Ian Happ. Hold me closer, trying to Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, Chris Morel, Nick. Oh no Madrigal. So that's one of their low K guys, and then Miles Mastrobuoni. So this lineup got better for strikeouts, so that makes me like the 4 strikeout prop even more for Beto. Excuse me. Is it still at 4? Because they moved another line after I said it. It's still at 4, so I'm fine with that. Rockies lineup is Profar, Grichuk, McMahon. Hello, I am Elias, Alfaro, Nolan Jones, Brenton Doyle, Coco Montes, Connor Kaiser. I don't know who that is. He's not even in the spreadsheet, or he's not in the player pool. Let me double check that my brain didn't misspell that. Kaiser. No. Alright, cool. What else we got here? Red Sox, no. Twins, we have that. White Sox lineup is out. Andrew Benintendi leading off against the lefty. That makes sense. There's one thing Benintendi does. Is hit for power against lefties. Everybody knows that. Luis Robert, Eloy. Bro, why did they move Jake Berger? Oh my gosh. Jake Berger. Jackson Frazier, formerly known as Clint. Elvis Andrews. Zach Remillard. Alright, so I still really like Jake Berger. But man, for me personally, I'd be betting him cleanup in this spot. I don't understand that. 5th I was okay with. 6th behind Yasmani? What are we doing? Astros just confirmed. Alright, so we're all caught up on lineups here. So let's resort the bomb detector. What up, RC? Hope you're doing alright. Team totals will mostly always be considered wind impact. Home park, the case winner. Yeah. So Berger still at the top of the bomb detector. Matt McLean 2nd. Tauchman 3rd. And I like that because he's batting leadoff. Belly's up there. So we do got some power, especially with lefties from the Cubbies. But looking like a normal night. Got Vaughn and Berger with my Ranger stack. I like it. Nobody. Well, that is our slate. So, I appreciate you guys, as always, for hanging out with me, making part of my day be part of your day. I like the baseball. Like I said, nobody watches it, but I like it because we get to hang out a little bit more. If you guys want to bring the vibes over to my boy Terry, that would be lit. He's streaming right now. We got 100. He got 27. We can get him to 60 real quick. We've got him up to 120 something, 150 subs. Let's go. So I'm gonna get you guys out of here, but you want to talk some more baseball? Terry's a genius. So we'll put that link in chat. You guys show him some love. Tell him Gun sent you. And I swear I'll get a link. I'm gonna do it. Otherwise, anything else for me? Twitter.com/Gundacker. There we go. And my DMs are open. And remember, coupon code DONG. DONG will get you 20% off anything over at rundfs.com right now. 7 game sweet spots. Let's go. All right, chat. Go hit up Terry. Link in chat. Follow him on Twitter. He's at 150 subs. Hopefully we can get him to 200 this week. That'd be lit. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great Monday. Hope you guys crush it tonight. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.
ISO so far. 4 home runs.